What's up, baby? Today's show is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Yeah, we talking about proper preparation. We're talking about trying to be better at life. How can we improve, right? Whether we're talking about just as an individual, how do we improve if we're talking about in the job space? I mean, whether we're talking about just all the different ways to be prepared for the next step, for that next task. Southern New Hampshire University and some of these online degree programs that they are offering. Come on, baby. You can't beat this. And they have super competitive low tuition rates that are, like I said, going to prepare you for whatever your next steps might be as it pertains to your professional career. It's not too late. I mean, shoot, what you waiting on? I mean, you're watching me, but what you waiting on? Come on, man. You see the link right there, right? snhu.edu/Arthur Moats. Tap in and go out here and get a chance to prepare yourself for greatness. But now it's time for regularly scheduled programming. Would he really be backdooring into it, though, when we look at the way that the rest of these guys who are finalists have finished the season as well? You got a Myles Garrett up there. You got a Pat Surtain II up there.
He left the door open.
A Trey Hendrickson up there. Zach Braun, I think he said Braun. He's up there.
He's a finalist.
Oh, don't show me intrigued, Deke. Come on, man. Yeah, why you say it like that? He gave you $150, $160 tackles, 11 for TFL. I think it was 3 sacks. Had a pick in there. You know, hey.
Come on, bro.
I'm just saying, bro.
I mean, there's a case for TJ, but it'd almost be like how Myles Garrett finished last year. But more deserving on TJ's end. Even with Myles Garrett, I think he finished the season last 6-7 games with only 1 sack. Like he still had no business winning the award if you look at the overall regular season stats versus all of TJ's stats. Like it was just insanely in TJ's favor, no matter what way you wanted to spin it. Whereas, like, obviously TJ didn't finish strongly, but if you look at his total regular season stats versus all the other guys that you mentioned, there's a case for TJ. Yeah. There is. Whereas last year, there just point blank period wasn't a case for Myles Garrett at all, but he somehow won the award. It's just that TJ didn't finish strongly, didn't close the door, didn't put his stamp on the season, so left the door open. And I'm not really gonna have like a case against anyone that doesn't win, not named TJ Watt. It feels like if they win, I'm just gonna be like, all right, whatever. Yeah. TJ did it to himself.
He's still I think he's number 2. Based on Vegas odds right now, behind Surtain. So he's still legitimately in that convo, though, man. But I could definitely understand those feelings. I could definitely understand that, man. Shoot.
Yeah, it's just no one really stepped up like that this year.
Yeah. Because I feel like Henderson ended loud, but his team was really bad. So that's kind of the Joe Burrow MVP argument. It's like your season in terms of individual statistics were great, but as a whole, when we're looking at the award, it's like, how do we do that if your team as a whole still wasn't that successful? So that's my problem with Hendrickson. I feel like Myles wasn't loud enough.
Just off the top of my head, I don't think he has.
He don't have all the other like sexy stats. He just has like
pass
the sacks,
deflections, forced fumbles. I don't know what his tackles for loss is. QB hits.
Yeah. With Surtain, he had the loud pick 6 end of the season. That was a 100-yard joint, and then they obviously went to the playoffs and everything with that. With Zach, I feel like Zach got a dope year. He just plays off-ball linebacker, and kind of like what you had already did indirectly is like people just don't respect off-ball linebackers like that unless you get an insane, it's like outlier stat. It's like that's a great year, but people just go, it is what it is.
Probably since Darius Leonard in his prime, there hasn't been a guy going off like that, making crazy splash plays and filling up the stat sheet.
Because people want to see more. If you're off ball, they're going to care more about just simply interceptions than tackles. Because you're not a pass rusher. You're never going to have the true double-digit sacks. So it's how do we compare this guy? We'll look at 150 tackles, 160 tackles, and we'll just say, he's a volume guy. Or it won't put the same like emphasis on that as we'll say, man, if this guy has 20 tackles for loss, we're like, hey, bro.
What he do in his other stats? In terms of like interceptions, tackles for loss,
pull it up real quick. Give me a second.
Strip sacks.
Yeah, give me a second.
I feel like if you're just filling up the stat sheet across the board,
I got you real
5 forced
quick.
fumbles, all right.
No, like I said, man, he's a finalist for a reason. He definitely up there for a reason, but he just don't play the sexy position. 151 tackles, three and a half sacks, 4 deflections, a pick, 5 forced fumbles as well. And then they don't have his tackles for loss, but I want to say he had 11 TFLs as well.
Yeah. You need more sacks.
But he's an off-ball linebacker, though. You know what I mean?
Right, but, I mean, whenever I think of a middle linebacker winning the DPOY, I'm thinking, like, Ray Lewis. Like, just, he could do it all. He could literally do everything. He could sack the quarterback. He could blitz him. Getting the picks, reading the quarterback, making the splash plays. That's what I think needs to happen for someone like Zach Bond or an off-ball linebacker to have a chance at the DPOY. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but
I am with you. This is what it is. Reality of it. Heck yeah.
Right. 150 tackles. It's pretty good.
So the same
a lot of inside. Here's the thing, though. Like,
no, you about to say it.
No, a lot of inside linebackers do that year in, year out.
Do they have? I don't think they have the full sample that he has.
Well, that's my point. He needs more. Yeah. He needs more sacks. He needs another interception or two, maybe a pick six, touchdown or two. Yeah. The forced fumbles, 5. I mean, that's up there.
And he says an off-ball guy.
He's not winning.
You just said, though, that nobody closed the door.
Yeah, I'll bet good
You
money
said nobody closed
winning.
the door. That's what you told me. You said nobody closed the door, bro.
You surprised me.
And you look at the numbers, you like...
He had a good season.
He's a legit.
Yeah, he's all pro. He's not winning the DPOY. There's just no way.
Who is the definitive guy that you're taking ahead of him?
Well, it's not even just about that. It's more the off-ball linebacker respect and just how that position.
It's the nature of the position, man. Yeah.
That's part of it.
It's why Saquon is
he's got no
viewed
buzz.
How he's viewed right now.
Buzz.
Yeah.
There's no narrative for him this year. Like that plays into it too.
Yeah. But you said, man, when you play in the non-sexy position or a position that is kind of predetermined, this is how we value it. That's the hardest part with the awards. But it's like, yo, when I seen him up there, I'm like, yo, salute to the people that actually put him up there as a finalist, man.
Yeah.
But nah, whenever we get to those awards, though, man, the finalists up there are very interested, man, in multiple areas. So that's the dope part about it, baby.